You're on mute, Darius.
Buddy, look at this. I'm not professional like Sid. I can't do this. As I was saying, no, I don't have glasses. Yes, I do have hair. And unfortunately, no, I'm not going to sing for you. However, I am hosting today's episode of Sid Says in replacement for Sid. I know I'm not going to do as good a job, but he called on me and I can't let the man down. You know how loyal he is to you guys, and you know he wants to get that news out to you. So I thought, why not? Why not do it? And why not bring back a guest who guys haven't seen for a while? I know her show's not really needed, should I say, but we always want it because obviously Judge Jodi is the main thing that we get when we want to discuss sort of seasons and games gone. So welcome back, Jodi. How you doing?
Thank
How you
you.
been? Hopefully we will see you soon. Obviously we do have games going on, so it's not like there isn't work to be
Yeah,
done. But how are you doing
right.
nonetheless? How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Thanks for having me back, Darius. Very, very glad to be back in the house. Had a bit of a break. I was in Australia for a month. Came back. Pre-season started, and I got sick. So sorry, I haven't seen you guys, but yeah, it's really nice to be back, and
Yeah.
very excited for the season to get started.
Well, it's lovely to have you back, and honestly, we are all bursting and buzzing, waiting for Judge Jodi to return, so we can potentially, you know what, we might not be grilling and sending players to the jailhouse as much this season. So
We'll
hopefully,
see.
we'll have some new convicts in the
I'm
jury house
sure. I'm
and
sure.
in court, and hopefully we will be able to discuss about them. But this is not the Just Jodi show, unfortunately. This
No.
is Sid Says' transfer rumor show, and we do have quite a few things to discuss. I'm quite excited about this window. I do want to talk to you about the window first of all, since we
Yeah.
haven't really spoken to you since, I mean, way early on, and we had no signings, and now we've got six, potentially even more coming. So, how do you feel about the signings? Obviously Spencer's the newest one, but we've obviously had a lot of signings. So, yeah, just obviously
Yeah.
just tell me how you feel and what you think about them.
It's mixed emotions, I think, for me, because I'm so excited that we've got so much done. We're always crying out for action in the transfer window, and like we can't really ask for much more than six signings, like 3 weeks out, 2.5 2 weeks out now from the season starting. So I think in that regard, like we've done so well. I'm so happy about it. But I just feel like there's no statement signing yet. Where's the
Mm.
statement signing?
Mm. I understand, and
um,
the price has been there as well. I mean, 60 million
Yeah,
for a Charlison, but obviously he's not necessarily going to start. So, yeah,
it's definitely strengthened the squad, I think, which is what's been needed. I think we've been calling out for bench depth for like so long now, and we haven't had it. So, yeah, mixed emotions, Darius. I think I can't say I'm not happy. I am happy, but I could be happier.
Mm. I mean, I think, like you said, if you look at certain signings, I think as he started off, it was Perisic and Forster who came in, both on
Yeah,
a free, got that done early. I like to see that. I do think Perisic will have a good amount of impact on the team. I think if
yeah,
he's fit and ready to go, he will start over Sessegnon.
yeah.
But I know he's come in sort of injured, and it seems a little bit more serious than expected. So he might not necessarily start the season. But again, a great signing. Forster, I think, is a little bit underrated because obviously he was starting in a Premier League club in the Premier League, and now we have him as our second keeper. So a
Yeah,
lot more reliability in
yeah,
our second
definitely.
keeper sort of thing. So it was a good signing. I know.
Yeah,
Then Basuma came in. That for me is the one that's a standout at the moment. He is
yeah.
a pretty fantastic player in my opinion, and a lot of rival clubs and fans of rival clubs were really gunning for him and wanting him to be at their club. So that's going to be a good one.
Hmm.
And then yeah, obviously Lengley is all right in centre back. I think we'll probably get a bigger target next summer.
Yeah,
Spencer's come in now as well. Richarlison's come in. It's
it's
coming
exciting.
together quite well. It's coming
It's
together quite well. That's the
Yeah,
perfect word to use. I'm excited,
yeah.
regardless of sort of the big name, which I do want to see, because that will strike the fear into a
Hmm.
lot of. If you see sort of Madison's or Vardiol's,
Yeah,
Bastoni's come in, then
yeah.
you're like, right, we really mean
We're
business. But
yeah, yeah, agree,
six
yeah.
six signings and all improving the squad. I'm very happy with that. So to say that we still
Yeah.
got content to bring out and we can still talk about more signings coming in and
Hmm.
outgoings, we can't forget about the
The
outgoings.
outgoings, right? And we've got
Yeah,
Conte
that's
as our
one.
manager. I mean, we've got Conte, so we can drive at home with anyone, right? Like
Mm.
he can coach it out of anyone. So
It's gonna be good to see. I mean, like I said, he is the best manager we've had probably in the Premier League era, and we need to definitely take advantage of it. So
Mhm.
give him whatever he wants and give him more than what he wants, and I'm pretty sure he'll be happy. before we get into sort of what we're going to talk about today, just going to sort of see who's in the comment section, who's saying hi. Simon says hi. Hello, Simon. How you doing?
Simon?
How you feeling? He said how he's feeling about his transfer window. He said 6 out of 10, 2 to 3 more. I think that's, you know what, that's a really good point. I think maybe if you get 2 more signings in, we're not necessarily asking for 10 signings, but if you get 2 big signings in at the end of the window, then that's a really good,
We've
really
at
good
least
window.
got one more in us, right? Like,
oh yeah, and we've got the
I
money
think
for
1
it as
to 2.
well. That's the thing. We've got the money for it. We haven't. I think we've had a net spend of maybe. I think it's. I'm not too sure if maybe 100 odd million. I'm not too sure if it's even that high. To be fair with you, it might only be 50 million. I think now. So
Oof,
in terms of net spend, so we've
bring it
got money
in.
to spend. We've got money to spend.
Transfer deadline day.
Deadline. Oh, I mean, deadline day will be exciting because at least we'll have all. It won't be like last time where we have like no signings and we're
Yeah,
looking just for
yeah,
maybe 1 or 2.
yeah.
We'll have 6, 7 in the bag, and then we might
Yeah.
get like a surprise signing on deadline
Oof,
day.
that'll be good.
Big up to Eddie Ryan. He says, "How many more players do you think you're getting? How many are you thinking, Jodi?"
Yeah, I think 1 to 2. Like,
One
I'm
to
being
two.
realistic. I'd love 3 more, but I think 1
Mm,
to 2, definitely.
yeah, I like the
Yeah.
sound of that. He says, "Remember before we got Kulu and Bentancur in, they were slagging Paratici off. I mean, he's missed very rarely so far, and the misses that he's done, sort of, you maybe look at Brian Hill and Emerson. They weren't brought in for Conte, and I don't really class that as a miss because the manager he was bringing them in for isn't the
Yeah,
manager that's currently there at the moment. And
it's true.
Emerson, he sort of made Emerson out to be as good as he possibly can, and having man of the match performances to get us in the top 4 towards the
Yeah,
end of the
he
season. So he
improved
did
towards
what
the
he
end.
needed to do. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
think yeah, I don't know how you feel about Paratici, but for me, he's definitely won a lot
He's
more than
cooking.
he's lost.
He's
He's
cooking.
definitely,
He's in the
definitely.
kitchen. He's cooking.
Michelle Gain says hi. We need 2 more big signings. Yeah, I
Yep.
think we've literally discussed that. It's the marquee ones we're looking for now. The ones that you could sort of put the crown on and say, yeah,
Hmm.
that's who we could potentially put the because we're forgetting Son and Kane are 30s now,
Yeah,
and
no. Well, that's my
it's
thing. We need somebody. We need people to take over from these guys.
we
Like,
need
who's
somebody to,
learning?
as I say, pass
Who's
on the
learning?
torch, and there's no one yet.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
definitely we need to
yeah.
start. I know we shouldn't be thinking about the future necessarily when the present is now, but we have to. Football
We're
club
losing
doesn't,
recipes.
these players don't. Yeah, these players do not stay forever and do not get
Yeah.
younger. So yeah, and then Simon says Madison question mark. My fingers are very very crossed for Madison. So
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah.
hopefully I do see Madison. I saw a training clip of Madison sort of beating a man towards the edge of the box and slamming a ball across the box. And I was just thinking, if Kane's on the back of them, then it's very, very
An
promising. So yeah, no,
amazing
loads of good
pickup.
things to think
Yeah.
about. But this Sid says, we'll call it 3K says today, unfortunately, Sid. This Sid says is basically more to discuss outgoings, I think, because as
Mhm.
much as we want all these players to come in, there are homegrown quotas to fill. There are, foreign quotas to fill in the squads, and not everybody's going to get a place in the team if we don't, get rid of certain players. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put up our sort of first talking point, and it's to do with Japhet Tanganga and a potential loan deal to AC Milan.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how many days ago it was. It might be 2 days ago now or yesterday. Di
Yeah.
Maurizio brought out sort of an article mentioning that Paratici is in Milan and he's discussing sort of outgoings, potential incomings, and the one that seems quite, I wouldn't say concrete, but that has the most traction at the moment is this one, and it does at the moment seem like just a loan deal, but you never know what can happen. Options, obligations to buy could be a thing. I just wanted to ask you on this. One, do you think it's a good move for Tanganga? And then 2, do you think it's a good move for Spurs? And yeah, what basically do you think can come from this?
Yeah. I definitely think it's a good move for Tanganga. I think the poor guy needs playing time, right? Like, I can't remember the last time I saw him play for us, to be honest. Um, I think Milan also need a centre back. I think so. I think, what more can you really say? Like, they need someone. He needs playing time. I think it's a really good option for both
Mm.
people, like both clubs.
They've just won the
Um,
league as well, to be fair, AC Milan. So
yeah,
it's a really, really, it's a huge, huge club to go to
it's a
for
great
sure.
opportunity for him, I think. You know what, I really like Tanganga. I think he's got a lot of potential. I've always liked him, but I do really think it's going to be a good opportunity for him to go out, get some minutes, and potentially, if it is an option to buy, good luck to him. Like, I I think it's not really, and I don't, not saying anything bad, Tanganga, but I don't think it's going to be a big miss for us, to be honest, because we haven't seen that much of him. Definitely think there's talent there, but yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for him to go out there and see what else is out there. Personally,
It's something I agree with you completely about Tanganga. It may be a sort of maybe an is it an opinion that not many have towards Tanganga, that I think that as much as he's a homegrown talent and he's from the academy, I don't think he's good enough for the levels that we're trying to reach. And
yeah,
that's not a
no,
slight on him, but I can't
he
even
hasn't
tell
had the
you how old he is.
time.
He's not that young. He's obviously very young. I think he's
23,
22 or
maybe
23,
22,
but
23.
he's not,
Yeah,
one of these youngsters that you would call a prodigy necessarily. He's 23 years old now, so
yeah,
you wouldn't necessarily call him a prodigy. He's still very young, but again, at 23, you think about centre backs who were potentially linked with him, Bastoni and Guardiola, and they are
yeah.
very, 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 very clear of him in terms of their progression. So I
Hmm.
just think if AC Milan are interested, you look at a guy who you wouldn't say is the best centre back or the best young talent, so you have to hold on to him. If you send him over to a Champions winning club, a massive club in AC Milan who are going to be in the Champions League next season. Not to forget that Tomori is also there as well, who was at Chelsea. So he's got
Yeah.
sort of an English centre back friend there to help him through. There's obviously Reece, what's his name? I forgot his name. Oh, not Reece Nelson. Ainsley Maitland-Niles was there on loan last
Hmm.
season, didn't really play as much. He was at Roma. So there's people in Italian clubs. Tammy Abraham's also at Roma. So there's English players at Italian clubs that it seemed to work out for them. And I just think
Yeah.
if you're going to send somebody to the Champions just for experience and there's
Just
no
yeah.
option to
Yeah.
buy, that's a no-brainer for me. So it's a great option for
Yeah.
him.
No, I agree. Definitely.
So yeah,
But yeah.
hopefully there's a bit of traction. In
What's
terms
the
of like, go on, sorry.
no, I was gonna say the commercials and stuff. I don't know do you know anything? Is it just a loan at the moment?
I'm not sure if there is. Again, I don't think there will be an option. I
Yeah.
haven't seen or mentioned anything about an
It's
option
quite
to
fresh,
buy.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's quite fresh. I think
Yeah.
a loan at the moment is being discussed solely because I do think he wants one to get better quality in. So
Yeah.
at the moment, if you're not going to play and you already know that you're going to sort of be maybe fifth, sixth choice, why not send him out on loan? And two,
Yeah.
I also think that it's a good move personally for AC Milan as well. Like you said, I mean, the centre
Yeah.
back issue. I think Romagnoli left this season, so they are short
Mhm.
of centre back, and for them
Yep.
to get a young player who they, Tomori came in and basically displaced their main centre backs and basically won the league almost
Yeah.
for them. Was very influential in winning the league for them. It's a good move for all parties. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for Tanganga. And looking at him, do you think, this is a question, do you think he will ever get to that level of being able to play for Spurs and being reliable, or is it just for you, if you can sell him, then sell him? If they do want to buy him permanently, then definitely take that opportunity up.
Yeah. I think times have changed a little bit. Like there was a time when I thought that I wished he could, and I thought he could. Um, but I think now because he's not really had much playing time with us and he's just been sat on the bench, and yeah, I think that ship sailed, maybe.
Mm,
I don't know.
mm.
It's a shame because I think I'd love to see him progress at Spurs, definitely. But
Especially because he
yeah,
comes from the academy as well. You
that's the
know he
thing.
loves the
You don't
club.
want
Like
the
he's
academy players
definitely.
to, yeah.
Mm.
Um,
Let's have a look at see what people are thinking about Tanganga then. Here we go. Tricky one. Big up, big up, big up. He says Jaff will improve. Untold both as a defender and technically over in Italy too. So I think we should loan without selling him to AC Milan. Good point. Hopefully, like I said, technically he's not the worst technically, but I don't think he
no,
has, that exceptional ball playing ability for a centre back. And Italy and Italian football is a lot more sort of technically based. So
yeah, it's
maybe
true.
it will help him improve that aspect of him of his game, and he comes back
Hmm.
to Conte with better ball playing ability. And
Yeah,
like you said, even if we don't put that option in, like you say, you can always sell him when he comes back, or you can
yeah.
make that decision once he comes back. So yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty like risk. There's no risk in it. It's riskless. I don't think
No,
there's any issue
why
with
not?
sending him on loan. So yeah, definitely agree with
See what
you. Let's see
happens.
what other people are saying. Eddie says, how many foreign players are we allowed in the Champions League? I think it's 17, if I'm not too sure. Oh, here we go.
That
Craig Bowler says, yeah,
sounds familiar.
17
Yeah,
foreign
17.
players allowed in Champions League. The Welsh and Irish lads are classed as foreign as well. Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's definitely space, and we will mention sort of later on who we think potentially could go and bring in that space for us in the foreign spot. But we'll save that for later on. Yeah, I think let's have a look. Alan Saint-Maximin doing the rounds. I heard that as well. I think Chelsea and Spurs may be inquiring. I think I saw.
Really?
Not too sure how reliable the source was, but last I
Didn't see that
checked,
one.
I think it's maybe around 45 million pounds they're looking for. So it's going to be a lot of money. And also, I think it doesn't really make sense now we've signed Richarlison. However, I
Yeah.
do mention the fact that we have no replacement for Kulusevski if he got injured. So
And we're
I
trying to
mean,
build that squad depth, so
I'm not gonna say no, but wow, if we were to have Saint-Maximin,
could
Richarlison,
you imagine?
Kulusevski, Son, and Kane as our options, boy, the sky's the limit for us. Sky's the limit. Simon Cohen says sell him. I completely understand where you're coming from. I think if you get a fee for him, sell him. If you don't, keep him. Let's see what happens. Michelle Gaines says, what do you think will happen with Joe Rodon? Maybe might talk about that later on. So I'm not gonna answer that question now. Tricky says, can't see us getting Saint-Maximin. Neither do I, to be honest with you. It'll be a very, very, that would be like a deadline day sort of, if he really wants out of Newcastle and they're looking at potentially signing Pepe, which if they sign Nicolas Pepe and that means that Arsenal can sign Leroy Sané, I'm not going to be happy with Newcastle anyway. So you might see Saint-Maximin move. You never know. I'm definitely not gonna hold that as sort of an impossibility. How are your pub time? How you doing, Kevin? Oh my gosh, look, we've got Paxton Road ourselves asking you a question, Judge. Who do you want to start at right wing back? Go. We've got now 3 options. We've got 3 options, potentially 4 with Lucas being discussed with Conte as a right wing back. So let's say we've got 4 options. Who are you going for?
4 options. Yeah, I mean, all right. I'm gonna say close your ears, Mike-Hotspur hustler. But I think I'm gonna have to say, with the options we've got right now, I think I'm gonna have to say Matt Doherty. There's no one else to start. Like, who else? Who else is starting right now?
You know what, Judge? I agree with you completely. I'm not even going to dispute that. I said, I've been saying this on how many streams and Twitter spaces. I've been saying the guy before he got injured in 2022
he
had
was
the
doing
6th
bits,
most goals and assists. 6th most goals and assists in the league. That's crazy. And he didn't do anything wrong to get dropped. He only got injured, and it was a bad injury. So I think you kind of not owe him, but I think it's a testament for him to let him have the start in this. Southampton, it's a team that's going to be quite open. I think he deserves to start that game.
Yeah,
and like you said, we've got 5 subs. Conte, when he had 5 subs at Inter, every single time at least subbed 1 wing back every game. So and in I think 60% of the games he subbed both the wing backs. So even if he doesn't, even if you don't want Doherty to start, he's not maybe going to play most of the game anyway, because the fullbacks are going to be definitely there and in abundance for us to be swapping around constantly throughout the game. So I think Doherty deserves it. Good shout. Good shout,
100%.
Jodi.
100%.
Don't think Newcastle want to sell Saint-Maximin. I don't know. They probably want a good fee for him. So don't think they will. Mora, Simon, get that out of here. Get that out of here. I'm sorry. I love your opinion, Simon, but that one, look, even Sam, the big man Sam says, hey, not Lucas. We're all in agreement here on Paxton Road. Lucas is great. I love him, and I'm happy that he's still here. I don't think he needs to be sold, but right wing back only if it's really needed.
Not the one for him.
Emerson improved as well. But you'd cash on him, Michelle. I see that. I see definitely you could maybe make your money back. Maybe get 25 mil. Maybe if the game was tomorrow, I'd say Doherty. But let's wait and see if Conte has something else up his sleeve. I.e. Lucas Moura.
Don't say that.
A lot of people think Lucas Moura. A lot of people think Lucas Moura. You know what? Let's see.
Maybe I'm not going to shut it down.
Big up, Derek. Says hi to me and you, Jodi. Big up. And why would anyone want to leave Newcastle with the money they've got? Because he's been there a long time, and I also think he wants to be in the Champions League sort of now, and he has very, very lofty expectations, Saint-Maximin. So if Chelsea and Tottenham come asking, it's sort of similar to Richarlison. I know Everton's trajectory is nowhere near Newcastle's, but you've sort of given your all to the club. You've kept them in the Premier League. You've given them a lot, and I think you sort of want to get that next stage and that next move. So I see it. I understand it. Let's move on though. Let's talk about again Fabio's work trip to Milan. Reported again by Di Maurizio, as I said. He said Paratici's gone over to Italy, particularly he's gone to Milan or Milano to definitely, I think, discuss more outgoings than incomings. But
Yeah.
there has been a few rumblings about certain players that maybe he spoke about. So there's a few players I want to talk about in this little sort of section. We'll get to the first one. Let's go with Pape Sarr, because that one I think is the most interesting. He's really like sort of impressed me since he came into the club, really, because obviously
Hmm.
he was loaned out last season. He was our player, but he was loaned out. He looks technically really good. He looks confident. He looks like a very good player. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
only 19 and he's not, the most experienced player, but he's had a few games for Mets and he played a lot of games for Mets last season. So,
Hmm.
do you think the rumor is that AC Milan again looking to potentially loan Pape Sarr? Do
Hmm.
you think that is again same question with Tanganga, a good move for Sarr, a good move for Spurs, or do you think maybe with the four midfielders that we've got, we might need a fifth one to potentially be that super late backup if needed?
It's tough, I think, because I didn't get to see the preseason games. I got
Mm.
to listen to your commentary when you're doing
Yes,
your
our
watch
watch
alongs,
along,
which
which
were
we will be doing
amazing,
tomorrow. We
everybody,
will be
by
doing
the
that
way. The
tomorrow.
watch
So yeah,
alongs,
tune in,
Paxton Road watch alongs are amazing. So
tune in
catch it,
tomorrow.
because if you're working or doing other things,
You're gonna
it
miss out.
really helps you understand what's going on. So unfortunately, I didn't really get to see him in those games. But I did catch a bit of clips of him like last season. Um, definitely potential there, and I think he got Young Player of the Year
You did
at
CAF
the
Young Player of the Year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's definite potential there for him. I just think he's too young for us at the moment. I
Mm,
think it's probably time to send him back out again and bring him
mm.
back when he's got a bit more experience.
So my
Probably.
question is then, do you think, like you said, is Milan the right move, or
No,
as
I
you
don't
obviously said
know.
alone, do you think maybe a Premier League club is
I
a better move,
Yeah,
or somewhere
I
closer
would
to home?
somewhere closer to home is probably better, I think, because obviously we want him to excel in the Premier League.
Mm,
Um, so yeah, personally for me, I think I'd like to see him go somewhere else in the Prem,
mm.
get a bit more
Cool,
experience about
cool.
how we
I like that.
play, and then yeah.
I
So
said this for me, the one club that I could not imagine, but the one club I think would be like amazing for him to go to would be Crystal Palace. I know
mm,
obviously Vieira's
yeah,
manager,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
Vieira's
yeah.
got a
For sure.
really good young team sort of building
Hmm.
there. Conor Gallagher's not there anymore. Was a
Yeah,
massive part of the midfield. I think he would be really good at
it's
Crystal
a
Palace
very good shout.
and would have great experience. I mean, they're in London. Is it West London? I'm pretty sure Crystal
Yeah,
Palace.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
not too far.
yeah,
I think that'd be a really good move for him in the Premier
yeah.
League to go and get experience. I don't think Vieira is going to do us any favors, so
No.
I'm not going to get too hung up if he doesn't go. But that would be my like ideal place for him to go and get experience. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not Milan, but definitely Crystal Palace. So
I don't see him really doing anything for us this season because of how
yeah,
stacked our midfield is right now. And
yeah.
like you say, maybe an option for like some kind of substitute, but I don't see it happening. So
Mm, definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, Pape Sarr. So we'll both agree on that. I think
mm,
we want him to go on loan, but maybe the
not
Premier League
Milan.
is more better.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think
yeah.
as Simon says here, Pape Sarr says he doesn't want to go to Milan, so
Oh,
I'm not going to force a guy to go somewhere that he doesn't want to go. So fair
yeah.
dues, fair dues. Let him stay where he
I'd
wants to
rather him
stay.
stay than go to Milan,
Yeah,
to be
and
honest.
that's
I
another
think.
point. Yeah, I think it'd be more
Yeah,
important for us to be like that. If Basuma was to get injured, and then
yeah,
Højbjerg
yeah,
was to fall, then you've only got Skip and
yeah.
Bentaker, who maybe don't know. Then
Winks.
so
No.
well, if he doesn't go, then he's still here as well. And I don't even. He's so far out of my mind and
I
Conte's mind that I
know.
don't
He's
even
gone.
include
He's
him.
gone.
But he's still here. He's still here. So yeah, he could also be an option. Um, yeah. So obviously, Pape Sarr will agree loan, but maybe not to Milan.
Mhm.
Another name mentioned was, gosh, it feels like he feels like Voldemort amongst Tottenham fans. I feel scared saying his name, Tanguy Ndombele, because nobody even wants
Oh
to
my
speak about him.
god.
Nobody wants him at the club, but he's
Who?
very happy.
Who?
He's very happy picking up 200k, and he doesn't care what people think. So
Mm-mm.
I don't think he's forcing anywhere. I don't think he's probably willing to take a pay cut. I don't think he's even bothered if he doesn't get a move. But we are bothered. It seems like we're really trying to push him anywhere possibly. And I've also heard that AC Milan again. He seems to be doing a lot of favors for us. AC Milan. They
Mhm.
potentially could be interested in taking him on loan. I,
Anybody.
I feel like I just have to ask you this question because you are my guest and I already know the answer. But what are your thoughts on Ndombele? Do you see any hope of him coming back, because me and a lot of people don't. But I have seen a lot of people on Twitter say, I mean, Conte can get anybody to play. If he has one more chance, amazing. I'm not going to say anything else. Do
Twitter
you think
tells
he has a chance? Do you think
everything.
he
You
has a
find
chance?
anything on Twitter.
You do. I'm not, I should stop basing a lot of my opinions from from what I
I
see on
know.
Twitter. But, you know,
I
that's me.
know.
That's me. But yeah, tell me about Ndombele and whether you think this move is good for
Mm.
him, and whether you think he just needs to go anywhere potentially.
Darius, this guy, honestly, how many times, like, have I said the potential of this guy, like the talent, all of us, like, how many hours of, have we said that the potential and talent that this guy
I
has,
know.
that we could, try and unlock from him, just if only. Yeah, no, it's great. Anywhere can take him from my perspective. The guy's, yeah, literally not done much at all for us, I don't think, in the 3 years that we've had him. Um,
Mm,
yeah, it's not a big loss for me. It's a big loss in terms of the talent, definitely,
mm,
but yeah, we never got to unlock that. So I don't think London was for him. I think take him to Milan, send him anywhere really. I think he'll probably have a better experience in the Serie A, probably. I think the style probably is a lot better for him than the Premier League. So,
mm.
make him happy
Um,
there and
it's sad, isn't it? Because Simon says sell him to McDonald's. Honestly, I've I don't even think McDonald's would sign him. I don't think he'd work that hard in the kitchen. I don't even think
No,
they'd
it
want him.
wouldn't work. He
So
wouldn't work
to
at
be
all.
fair, I don't know
No.
if it'd even work. Yeah, Jodi, I agree with everything you say. It's sad, isn't it? Because you
It's
think
sad.
when you see
Yeah.
him at Leon and he was so determined, and even at Leon, he obviously even admitted he didn't put all his effort into games. He loved the Champions
Mm.
League games and everything, but you can't choose unless you're like the top talents of the world,
Yeah.
and you've worked your way to get to that situation where you can pick and choose when you want to turn up, like a
Yeah.
Ronaldo, where he has worked
He
his whole
can't.
life and he put all that effort in and he still turns up, even if he doesn't want to
Yeah.
turn up in certain games,
Yeah,
he will
yeah,
still
yeah.
turn up. That's when you can sort of, put that next gear into the Champions League, or maybe hold off. And again, with his age, he
Yeah.
might not want to put his all into games. And Dombele's got no excuses whatsoever to not want to put
No.
all his effort into those games, and he doesn't do it. So for me,
It's
somebody who
just the
doesn't want to
big
put effort
games,
in,
right? He shows
it
up
does.
just for the
Yeah,
big games, for like the tiny little, like, Burnley whatever games. He doesn't
he
care.
doesn't like it, and I
He doesn't like
think
it.
we don't have an. First of all, the manager hasn't got time for that sort of player. But
Yeah.
if we were to keep a player like that, for me, he doesn't even bring enough. In terms of, if a player is not going to do any hard work or whatever, then I think you can have sort of the right to look at just his goals and assists. If he doesn't want to put that effort on the pitch, and then
Yeah.
you better be scoring a lot of goals and assists and a lot of goals. So he doesn't do either really. So he doesn't really work on, then his numbers don't back up the lack of effort. So it's
No.
just, for me, just a big waste of time. And I don't think he's ever going to really put that effort in at any club he goes to. And it's
No.
only if he can find a club that's willing to allow him to just basically turn up in the big games when they need him. The only club I can see doing that is PSG, and the way they're going now in the future, they're not signing a player like Ndombele. They're going for young, hungry
Yeah,
players who
it's
want to
true.
play for the club. So they're not that's not their model anymore. PSG are making a big change, and I think PSG are going a bit under the radar. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's Milan. If they
Sad.
want him on loan, I guess send him on loan, because we need the wages off the bill, and it's another European footballer sort of
Yeah.
off that list of 17. But even if he was there, he wouldn't make the list anyway. So yeah, he didn't even go to
Nope.
preseason. He didn't even go to preseason. Conte said, stay back and find the club. So I think that
Get
ship
off
sailed.
my
I think the ship sailed
The
now.
ship is definitely sailed. If Conte doesn't want you, nobody wants you.
It's done. It's done. There's only one more player I really want to speak about on sort of the outgoings for Paratici, and I think it is a bit more AC Milan. Maybe Juve have been linked with this player as well. Sevilla have been linked with this player as well. So it definitely seems like our main man, used to be main man, or who we thought main man in Sergio Reguilon, seems to be on his way out of the door at Spurs, but it doesn't really seem like there's a club that's pushing very hard. I think I heard that Sevilla can't afford to pay his 70k a week wages. I mean, their main guy, Jules Koundé, who looks like he could be going to Chelsea, which is another scary
Yeah.
move. Which again,
Mm.
Koulibaly and Koundé. That's how you
Mm.
you reshape your defense.
That's
That's a
how you
really
do
good.
business, right?
Yeah. He seems like he's going to Chelsea. He was only on 69k a week at Sevilla. So if the main man Koundé, who stayed at the club and really, when Reguilon left to go to Tottenham, Koundé stayed. He's only on 69k. I don't think they're going to be paying Reguilon, who left and then wants to come back now, 70k a week. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens with Reguilon. Milan again linked with him, and then Juve apparently, maybe if their first choice or if Sandro leaves, I can't remember what I heard. Maybe Juve might go in for him as well. Barcelona potentially as well if Marcos Alonso doesn't work out, could go in for Reguilon as well. So, are there any sort of clubs in mind that you think Reguilon would do well at? And also, do you even care? Do you even care if Reguilon goes at this point?
Well, I think Sam Spurs for Life has kind of put it there in the comments.
Where has he put it?
But yeah, not that sad, to be honest. not that impressed last season ever. Yeah, the guy just really doesn't does not impress me. Any club, take him, please.
That's how it feels sometimes. It feels like that they are
I-
really, and this is what I mean. People are getting angry that we're not selling players, but I do feel like they're making a lot of effort to try and get rid of these players. However,
yeah,
they just don't want to go, do they?
I don't know
Or they don't want
where.
to. They don't really. Yeah, they don't want to go. But also, do people want to pay the money that we're offering as
Well,
well?
that's the
Maybe so.
thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's talent there with Regulon. I haven't seen it myself. He's not impressed me last season or before that. You know what? I think he got 2 goals last season for like a left wing back for
Yeah,
the role that we're trying to get for him. That's just yeah, it's not what we need. We need to be getting more goals from that position. So, from my perspective, I think he's just all kind of running around, not doing a whole lot of not doing a whole
yeah.
lot. So I think if any club wants to take him, then please take him off our hands. We've definitely upgraded with Perisic,
And even
and
Session's probably better than him
Session.
now, isn't
Yeah,
he? He's improving. So,
I was always a Ses fan above Regulon anyway, so I'm happy. So
mm.
yeah,
I
if anyone
mean,
wants to take him off our hands, please do it.
to be fair, again, me and you seem to be agreeing a lot. I'm just waiting for somebody to just take him off our hands and that tweet to come out saying we've reached an agreement with so and so. Thank
Yeah,
you for your whatever. We'll see you soon.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, I think. But even if he stays, again, people shouldn't be worried that he's gonna, take up space on this foreign
no,
quota list. He just won't be on the list. He just won't go to
no.
Champions League
He
games.
didn't
He'll
go
just
to
stay at
Korea.
home.
He's just
So
not
if he's
gonna.
not going to
Yeah,
Korea, then Conte
yeah.
basically says, look, it's almost not my problem if you don't want to leave and I don't play you because I've told you now you're not part of my plans. Like I'm not going to be playing you. So
Yeah.
if you want to fight for your place and I'm still, not pushing, I've told you it's going to take a lot. And if Reguilon, turns into a worldie and Conte says,
Yeah, well, there you
oh, I
go.
can't do anything about it, you're going to start. I'm not going to complain.
I'm
Conte's
not
not going to
complaining.
complain.
You can
Regulon's
do
not
it.
going to
You
complain.
can
So that's
show
the
us
only way
all
it
what
can
you done.
happen. It's the only way it can happen. Get into
Yeah.
a few comments and then we'll sort of talk about one incoming from Italy that might happen, and then we'll get to our final point. But yeah, I've left this comment on because Mike-Hotspur Hustler is speaking a lot of truth right here. Everybody, I just looked. I think there was about 20 people watching, and there are 22 likes. So everybody, I hope you have all liked this video. It seems like you all have liked this video. So thank you so much. But everybody who watches this afterwards, watches it tomorrow, later on, please like this video. Please subscribe. Hit the bell icon if you want to see and know when our videos come out. And honestly, I think Jodi will be returning soon. Sid will be back on this show. You won't have me. We've got the watch along tomorrow with me, Sam. I'm not sure who else. I think Sean might be on. Sid might be on. So yeah, catch us doing that. There's a lot of players to watch as well. So I think we'll have a lot more fun watching that Rangers game with our new signings, Basuma, Spence. They might be playing. So
Yeah, looking
yeah,
forward to
there's a lot
that.
to look forward to on Paxton Road and Tottenham as well. Tricky says, what do you think the club should do with Brian Hill? Yeah, we'll talk about that really, really quickly before we move on. I think, just quickly, I think he should go on loan. And the only reason I say that is because I do think he's talented and you could sell him. So if he goes on loan and does really well, then bring him back and he might do even better. If he goes on loan and does really well, you can sell him on.
Yeah.
And I just think selling him now, we won't get the right amount of money where I think if you see his talent shine, then he could, go up and buy, 20 million, maybe 10, 20 million. So what's your thoughts on Brian Hill?
No, I agree with you, but I think it's a loan to a Premier League club, right? Rather than
Yeah,
taking him back
is the
out.
Premier
So,
League suited for him though? Is that
well,
do you
that's
think
what
he
I
would
want
be
to
able to
see.
do well?
That's what I want
That's
to
the thing.
see.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, interesting.
send him to Palace. I
Yeah,
don't know.
send everyone to Palace. Send everyone to Palace. Palace is great. Great. Seems that Palace has got good track record with players on loan. It's been reported that Mourinho wants him at Roma. I'm not sure who that is about. Might be about. If you tell me, Craig, in the comment who that is
Is
about,
it for
please.
Brian Hill or
Might be Hill, might be Reguilon, and Ndombele could be. Ndombele,
yeah?
the gardener should stick with him on the gardener should stick him on the compost heap. I mean, I don't even know who would be very healthy for that compost. To be fair with you. I'd do the same with Rodon to another team in the Premier League or in Europe, playing top tier, and then take stock next season. Don't worry, we'll get onto that very, very soon, Mike. Tricky, don't worry. I'm sorry, we'll get onto that. Thing is, we get a big name midfield player, we won't need Saar. Yeah, I think that's probably what they're waiting on. Probably waiting to see if they
Mm,
can get an attacking midfielder or a big
yeah,
midfielder in, and then obviously
yeah,
for Saar's own benefit, a loan would be much better. And if you send somebody on loan on deadline day, I mean that's not that bad, is it? You don't have to go on loan
yeah.
straight away. So yeah, they have time to wait. What's it say here? Any appointment of VO sign will be good. Oh yeah, I forgot his first name, but yeah, he's the new set piece guy that we've
Oh
signed.
yeah, I'm very happy
I
about
think
that.
it'll be good. Yeah, I think it'll be
Very,
good.
very happy. I've been calling
Hopefully
out
we
for
can see
that
it.
for a long time. So
And he
yeah,
seems like he's got a very good history of it as well. So thank you for
yeah.
that. I'm definitely gonna hopefully see if I can discover a little bit more about him because I'm not really that bothered about set pieces like that, and it's quite hard to understand how his set pieces are going to work. I think you more have to wait till the season starts and you'll see
Mm,
sort of where players are placed and how we approach set pieces for it to really become quite
yeah.
obvious. So I'm just going to let him do his thing
Do
over
his thing.
preseason, and then we'll
Yeah.
see when the season starts what
Get
our
some
set
more
pieces
goals
are
from
looking
that
like.
area. Come on.
Because it's not like our team isn't tall anymore. We got height in our team now. So yeah,
It's true.
definitely.
It's true.
Limits this year on international loans, it's 6 in total, 4 out, 2 in, 6 in. We have 2 with our Kulu and Longley. 4 out is difficult. Sargil, Lacelso, and Double. I'll hear what you're saying now. So I think Rodon is classed maybe as foreign in that sense. Maybe I'm not sure in
Mm,
terms of English class. For me, it's probably a really good question to just ask. Out of those 5 players here, um, which one would you sort of say is either maybe the one that we'd either want to sell so you don't have to loan him, or you'd want to keep because obviously you'd want to loan 4 of them? Which one would you think is the one that you need to, get rid of maybe or keep?
which one? One?
So yeah, so in terms
One
of
of
like,
those?
he says that 4 of them will probably be low. So
Quite a few
maybe
I'd want to get
a
rid of
better
in
way to phrase it
there.
is which 4 of those players would you loan out then? Out of those 4,
Okay.
which
Who
would
do
you
you
look
want to
to loan
keep?
out?
Who do you want to keep?
Yeah, who would you want to keep really and truly? Yeah,
I mean, I'd probably say I'd rode on.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
then
I
we
see
haven't
that.
really seen much of Rodon, so
Mm, mm.
Rodon or
And
Hill, I don't know.
road on I like that. Mike agrees with Tricky. Yeah, definitely. And Dai is still a bit fat, but working really hard. Don't worry about Dai's belly. That will go before preseason. Don't you worry. Right. Let's get on to topic 3 because a lot of people have been speaking about him and mentioning his name, and I think it's more interesting than it actually seems to be. I think a lot of people seem to be quite interested on what's going to happen with Rodon. So yeah,
Mm,
I've not really heard anything. This is just more a discussion that me and you can have and just sort of think and wonder what the best thing to do with him is, because I don't know. For me, when I first looked at it, like at the start of the window, I was like, he's good enough as a backup. We'll just keep him. That's fine. And
yeah.
then now I look at it and I think, well, we haven't got the left centre back that we wanted. We seem to have
Mhm.
maybe bought somebody who's just temporary, and then next window you sort of maybe look at getting the main guy. So if you're not going to spend the money on left centre back, and Dyer, who I think has improved a lot, and I think probably might have one of his best seasons this coming season, is still getting on a little bit in age, and is still Eric Dyer, if you know what I mean by that. He's still susceptible to making those mistakes.
Mhm.
Why
Mhm.
not look at potentially bringing in a young, very well playing, very good ball playing centre back,
Yeah.
who's got experience to maybe learn from Dyer, work off Dyer, and if he is
Yeah.
good enough to maybe
100%.
take over Dyer. So what's your thoughts on that? if Rodon is gonna, go and it looks like he's not in the plans, he didn't go to pre-season. Yeah, what's your thoughts on potentially me saying that a centre back to
Hmm.
compete with Dyer could be that other position that we choose with that attacking midfielder as the last two, to get in the window. What's your thoughts on that?
Darius, it's my number one.
Is it
My
really?
number one
Wow.
from day
Talk to me
one.
about that
I
then. Yeah.
said that we needed two centre backs from the
Mm,
very beginning. If like we're challenging for the title, apparently, to win titles, defense wins you titles. Like we need a stronger defense from my perspective. We got by last season. Dyer, Sanchez,
forgot about him as well.
Davies.
Yeah, I guess he's Romero's
Dyer,
backup, isn't
Sanchez,
he? Yeah.
Davies, they got us by when Romero was out injured. What happens when Romero gets injured again next season? Hopefully not. Please, Romero, don't. But from my perspective, that's the number one area. We need centre
Mm,
back. Like the defense needs work. Uh, we got
really
by.
good.
We got by, but I think we need more. We need more there, especially
You
where we're
know what?
trying to look for like two positions for every position. Like the
Yeah.
defense, man, like it needs work from my perspective.
It's so funny because as soon as you mentioned Sanchez's name, I was thinking, whoa. If like we get two bad
Yeah.
injuries, it could be that
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
a majority of the season. And that for the majority of the season isn't winning anybody
No,
anything. No
no,
trophies, no leagues.
no.
You might even be struggling with top four with a
We
centre
need
back
defense. We
trio
need
like
it
that. So
massively. Like, yeah.
Jodi, that's a really, really good shot. I mean, again, I said that for me, if we're not getting a left centre back, then centre back and attacking midfield is what we need. But I did say that I'd rather get an attacking midfielder in because we don't have one.
I think we can get
However,
by. I think we can get by in
however,
that area.
maybe now I look
Like,
at it, if you've got Lucas Moura, who if you had to play him, he could do that. Brian Hill, who if he doesn't go out on loan, could do that. Hasn't he played okay in the first game against the team K League, I think it was.
mhm,
He looked all right in that game, to be honest with you, Jody. So I'm not saying that Brian Hill was going to do well, but he wasn't bad. He wasn't out of place. If Pape Sarr stays, then he's a good technical player, good on the ball. Might not play as a number 10, but could be creative in that aspect. Yeah, maybe you could get away with it. Maybe it's like
I think you
more
can.
easy to get away with attacking midfield than it is,
Mm.
centre back. So I might just you might have just convinced me that
Jump on the
that centre
bandwagon.
back.
Like,
I
we
might I
need
might
it.
just put my seatbelt on, get on whatever bandwagon car we're going on because the centre half. Yeah,
Mhm.
if Dyer was to get injured or Romero or God
That's the
forbid both
thing.
of
We're
them get
gone,
injured, it's
like, and we've
issues.
got how many games have we got? We've got the World Cup.
Loads.
We've
World Cup,
got
Champions
like not
League,
that many
two
of our players
cups.
like, but anyway, we've got so many games coming up. We've got two
Yeah.
cups. We're going to win the Champions League. We've got all this stuff, and defense needs work.
I'm fully convinced. I'm fully convinced now. So for me,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't even necessarily, and this is the sort of the good thing about this position. I don't even think you need to spend that much money as well. I think if
Yeah.
they're young and inexperienced, but still have the that raw talent that Conte can really work on and mold into what he wants, which is what he did with Bastoni, by the way. Bastoni was not a 60-70 million pound centre back before Conte got his hands on him, put his faith in him, and said, "Yeah, I'm going to turn you into one of the best ball playing centre backs."
There's
Conte has
players
that track
out
record.
there. That's the
This plays out there.
thing, Darius. Like, there's players out there that we could go and get right now that would
Yeah,
improve our defense significantly, I think, above and beyond what it is
yeah,
right now. And that's the thing that's quite frustrating.
yeah.
Um,
I'm again. I can't even think of names off my head, and I
Simakan,
would
Mohammed Simakan. Don't know if
Simican would be a
yeah,
good shout.
yeah,
Yeah, is he at Leipzig, isn't he? I
yeah, yeah,
believe, yeah, he's a
yeah.
really good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, Simican is that would be a good shot actually. Wow, Jody, I
Lacroix,
wasn't even thinking about that.
Lacroix.
Lacroix as well at Wolfsburg. Look at these.
Yeah.
Look at Jody and Sid. Oh my gosh, get you two on the show. Lacroix again would be a
We
great
got
shout with
some
his speed.
stuff, you know.
He'd be a very, very good centre back. There's you know what, Kim Min Jae, who looks like he's gonna go to Napoli. Again, South Korean teammate with Son is fantastic centre back. We've been linked to
Mhm.
him before. I'd happily have him there.
Yeah.
That's three names we've given you right there. Lacroix,
You know,
Simikan, and Kim Min Jae are all
all
they've
under
all
like
played, yeah, all under
60,
23, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly,
But like
that's Those two shouts are amazing, by the way. I'm gonna I'm gonna start pushing that now. I'm gonna push those two names on a what's it called, Twitter, and see if people agree, because I think that's a great shout. And I think you also make a great point about prioritizing that centre back position
Yeah.
as well. If Dyer goes down, as much as you might not like him, there's going to be issues. There's definitely going to be issues. So I
Darius, I
agree.
don't want Dyer as my starting centre back, to be honest with you.
That's what I mean. And
I'd
if
rather
you
one of
were,
those
yeah,
guys ahead of
I
him.
speak to a lot of people about sort of Tottenham's chances of going for this league. And I'm saying this right now. I'm looking in the camera and saying this right now. I don't think we're going to win the league.
Yeah.
But if we were going to do it, a
I
lot of
don't
people
think
are
we're
just
gonna
saying
win
if
the league
Tottenham are going
either.
to push, if Tottenham are going to push for it, you're going to need two elite centre backs, and I think we
But
have
if we
one
want to,
elite centre back in Romero.
yeah.
I think he is an elite centre back. I do think he's going to probably be the best centre back in the league
Yeah,
aside from Van Dijk. I do
100%.
think Van Dijk will probably be the guy again, but we need another one. And
Yeah.
Bremer, who went to Juve now, obviously he's a good shout. He's gone now. But again, there are other shouts for centre backs. You might need to spend a
Mhm.
little bit more money. Simon says Cody from Wolves. I think again that's a really good shout with the way
Yeah.
he plays. He may not be the fastest, but he's got experience in the Premier League. The way he
Yeah.
distributes balls is fantastic. I mean, him pinging balls will be very similar to Alderweireld. So yeah,
Mhm.
again, these centre backs might not cost a lot of money, or they might cost a lot of money, but they're needed. And
Yeah.
I think, like you said, Jodi, if you're gonna, let's say Maddison has what, 2 years left on his deal, I believe. You're probably gonna look to have to spend, I think he might have 1 year left, 2 or 1 years left. You might have to spend 50, 60 million on Maddison. If you could hold out for Maddison until maybe January or next summer
Mhm.
and put that money into a centre
To a
back
centre
now,
back, we need it,
I think it
honestly.
would do a lot more for our season than Maddison would. So
Yeah.
yeah, good shout. Very good shout. And I think we should definitely look at that. So yeah, Rodon, unfortunately, I know we didn't really speak about Rodon because it was more about who's going to replace Rodon. But yeah, I think it's a good shout. I think it's a very good shout to replace that. And yeah, as Mike says, defense is a necessity. We need Longley, or don't
Mhm.
need Longley, but Longley's decent recruit. However, we need another centre back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
definitely. Derek seems confident that Bastoni's on his way to Spurs. Inter have had some issues. Well, the owner of Inter has had personal debt that he's sort of been convicted of in court. He's definitely on that. I think it's 250 million euros. He was sort of found convicted of. So yeah, he's
Wow.
he's going to need to find money. Inter are going to need to raise money from somewhere. Skriniar doesn't look like he's going, so Bastoni might come. Bastoni might come. I'm not going to say that. Don't forget to watch our watch along tomorrow. Great shout,
Mhm.
Mike. Please, 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 please tune in. I can't remember what time kickoff is.
I don't know actually. Is it
Let
a
me check.
midday
I'm
again
gonna do a
or
really, really quick check. Let's see. Tottenham versus Rangers is
assuming it's
on
12?
at 3 o'clock tomorrow.
3.
So
Oh.
yeah. So tune in 3 p.m. Oh my gosh. Look who's here. The main man is here himself. Hello, hello, hello. What a great, great, great comment. Sid, dare dream do. Yes, 3 p.m. kickoff. Theirs must be something not right with Rodon because none of the managers never played him. Good point, Eddie. Good point. Dom
Yeah.
P, big up Dom P. How you
Hey,
doing?
Dumpy.
Says big investment in a class centre back would take us to a different level. Look, that would be like if we signed a big, big, big name centre back. I'd be like, yeah, league title is potentially definitely
It's
ours.
on. It's on.
Okay. Yeah, so let's finally let's just wrap up just here then. What channel is it on? It's on Spurs Play. It's on Spurs Play. So yeah, tune into Spurs Play. And yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's on replay as well. Even if you miss out at 3 o'clock, I think you can watch the replay on Spurs Play as well. So yeah. So
Wonderful.
Jodi, yeah, this has been fun. We had fun.
Yeah,
Sid, I'm gonna put your comment here again. Thank you. Hopefully, I've done a good enough job for you. I think that we've covered most things, most important things that we need to discuss.
Let us
I
know,
do think
Sid.
more news will come out. I'm not gonna sing. Oh, Sid wants to ask a question. What do you think of Skamaka to West Spam? He's a good striker. He's a good striker. I'm kind of happy that Brozier didn't go to West Ham because I prefer Brozier, but people may think Skamaka is going to do better. West
Don't
Ham,
have
hey,
any thoughts for myself, sorry.
hey, West Ham or West Ham. I wouldn't even think about them. Nah, I'm not bothered
Don't
about
spend
West Ham.
time thinking about those guys. Thanks. Sorry, Sid.
Good host. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Good
Simon. I
host.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And Ilya says, course. Thank you so much for your contributions as well, and it's been really really helpful. Before we go, I'll just ask you, quick prediction tomorrow. Is there any sort of players you want to see in particular in our friendly, or is there any players you don't want to see in our friendly tomorrow?
I think you know who I don't want to see.
I could name probably maybe 2 or 3 players that you
Mm.
wouldn't want to see. So,
No, I'd quite like to see Basuma tomorrow because I don't think I haven't seen him yet. So
yeah,
I'd like to see him start tomorrow, or even just show up on the game tomorrow. I'd like to see. I think I'd like to see Richarlison again. Um, I think
I want to
just
see
the
Kulusevski
guys
personally.
and Kulu. Yeah, definitely
Mm.
Kulusevski. Sonny, I always want to see Son. So
Oh yeah, that's without a doubt, without a doubt. I'd be very
without a doubt.
concerned if you didn't want to see Sonny. To be fair, Joe. But
No, just all the
oh,
team, like,
good shout as well. Longley would be a really good
and
shout to see
Longley.
as well. Yeah. So
Mhm,
yeah, good shout, Simon.
good one.
Nice. So yeah, tune in. I know you won't be doing the watch along with us, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tune into the game or the watch along in the comment section. So we'll love you to be there, Jodi, and we'll love everybody in the comment section to be with us tomorrow for that watch along 3 p.m. I
100%.
think we'll go live. I think I'll probably go live about because I'm hosting maybe 2:55. We just discussed the lineup really quickly and whatnot. But yeah, I'd love to see you all with us watching the game. And yeah, talking points will be on Monday. And yeah, hopefully just Jodi will be coming very, very soon as well. So keep your
Yeah,
eyes and ears open.
I'm actually looking to do a prediction rating show as well, before the
Ooh,
season starts. So I'd
nice.
quite like to do a show where we predict the average ratings for all players for the
I love that.
22-23 season,
I love
and
that.
then we'll review that at the end of the season. So look out for that.
Nice. Please look out for that. That'll be very fun. You know what? I might actually want to be a part of that, Jodi.
You can
So
be. I'm looking
if you
for
haven't got a
many
guest,
partakers. There's lots
oh,
of
then
we're
yeah,
gonna
I
have a
might
whole
have to
host of
put my
people.
name down for that. Yeah, definitely. I like the
And
sound of that.
I think we'll have a prize as well for people in the comments.
Closest one. Look,
Yeah.
if there's prizes involved, I'm definitely going to be involved. So yeah, tune in for that, and look out for a lot of other things that Paxton Road is going to be doing. So yeah, thank you very much, Sid. As he says, I think he's been happy with our efforts and our replacement in being his replacement. So thank you, Sid, for letting me host, and thank you everybody for still tuning in, even though I'm not singing and I haven't got the the inside knowledge like ITK Sid says has, but I try my hardest. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. I really keep saying it because if you do hit it, then you know exactly when we can go live. You could be the first person to make that comment. We'll read every comment out. We'll do all that stuff for you guys, and we'll make sure that you really feel a part of the Paxton family. So yeah, subscribe, like the video, share the video on Twitter, follow Jodi and myself on Twitter, follow Paxton Road on Twitter. All the links and stuff will be in the description, so you can all check that out there. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll be very, very happy and smiling as we are now. Thank you very much, guys. See you later. Bye.
Thank you.